Hello friends, welcome back to the Art Room with Mr. Eck. Today we're going to be going way back in time. Now, you may not know this about me, but I kind of love learning about history. Not just art history, but just history in general. I think it's very interesting, and I think we can learn a lot from learning what happened before. We are going to be mixing some history with art history and learning about ancient Greece today. So Greece is a country on the other side of the world. It's been there for many centuries. And about 2,000 years ago, a little bit more than 2,000 years ago, that was like the center of learning and civilization in the world. That's where a great deal of, that's where like schools got started, and it was just a really cool time of art and learning. And let me show you a few images about ancient Greece, and then we'll talk about how that fits into our art project today. Alright, so we're going to start our history of ancient Greece with a very famous painting by the artist Raphael. He was a Renaissance painter, and he worked at the same time as Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. And this painting shows the School of Athens in ancient Greece. So these two guys in the middle are famous teachers from history. This guy on the left is Plato, and the guy on the right is his student Aristotle. And these guys are world famous for being great teachers in history. Next, let's look at some buildings from ancient Greece. This is a famous building called the Parthenon. It was one of the churches in ancient Greece, and it's made out of a hard white stone called marble, and that's how they made most of their buildings. And this was a very important, very famous, very large building. So this is just a drawing of what it probably looked like, because we don't have any pictures of what it looked like back then, because we're talking about almost 3,000 years ago. So this is what it looks like today. Yeah, there's not much left. But we're lucky that this much is left, and that's because it's made out of hard white stone, and so the basic parts of this building are still together, and that's pretty cool that we can see the way that the buildings looked like 3,000 years ago. So the artists of that time would also make statues out of that same white stone, and it's very durable and lasts a long time. So now we have museums full of ancient Greek statues that we can go and look at. And the Greek civilization, that society was very focused on the human body. They thought it was fascinating, they thought it was beautiful, and so a lot of their learning and art is focused on the human body, and especially their sculptures. And they would sculpt the gods that they worship. They would sculpt their war heroes, their celebrities, and there would be just statues all over town, because that was, as I understand it, the main style of art that was celebrated in ancient Greece. This is a famous Greek statue called the Winged Victory. It is currently in a museum in Paris, France. I got to see it about 20 years ago, and it was very beautiful, and it's very large. And yes, she is missing her arms and head, because this is an old statue, and at some point those things broke off and got lost. But we still have most of her, and she's a very beautiful statue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be making an artwork that features ancient Greek statues. Now, I don't have any blocks of marble for us to be sculpting today, so instead we're going to be drawing some Greek sculptures. You're going to need a piece of black paper, or any kind of dark paper will work if you don't have black. Also a regular pencil and a white colored pencil. If you don't have a white colored pencil, a white crayon should work as well, but won't be as exact. So the ancient Greeks made statues of their heroes and their Greek gods and people that they looked up to. So what I want us to do today is think about a character that you really like, and we're going to draw a statue of them Greek style. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that on the overhead camera, and then it'll be your turn. So we're going to be drawing a statue of our favorite characters. Draw on the left first. That way, if we have time in class, you can do maybe 2 sculptures, maybe 3 sculptures. And also, we're going to put them on, like, they're standing on a block, because the Greek statues usually had some kind of a base on them. So I'm going to do that real quick. You can watch me, and then it's your turn. And here's my finished ancient Greek statue of Spider-Man, my favorite character. And I think it turned out pretty cool. As you can tell, I kind of started sketching with some basic shapes, just some circles and rectangles and that kind of thing to figure out where everything was going to go. And then I filled it in with the white color pencil. You can fill it in really strongly and get a nice solid white, or you can fill it in lightly and get kind of a shaded gray color. You can tell I left some areas with the black paper showing for some details. And overall, I think it turned out pretty cool. And now I've got plenty of room to add some other characters over here. Maybe He-Man, maybe Ren and Stimpy, some of my other favorite characters. And now it's your turn. So I think it helps to draw from a picture. So maybe if you have the opportunity, while you're drawing, look up or find a picture of your favorite character. That way you have something to reference, and that makes things easier. And then draw as many of them as you have time for. Make your own little museum of ancient Greek statues of your favorite characters. And I will see you guys next time in the art room.